So I took a trip to the Meadowlands flea market. I came home with 84 comic books. What did I pick up? Let's take a look on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Good morning, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Thanks for stopping by. We're getting close to 5,000 subscribers. We just passed 4,900. So I appreciate everyone who subscribes and comments and likes these videos. And I will soon be announcing the 5,000 giveaway package. So, or packages. We're probably going to have 5 winners selected. And we'll get into the details in short order. But today, I want to talk about a trip to the flea market. But first, also follow us on other socials on Instagram, Bronzeville_comics. On Whatnot, Bronzeville_comics. I do sales Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And there is a link in the description of this video. If you're not on Whatnot yet, you can sign up on the link. And you'll get $10 off your first purchase, regardless of who that's with. It doesn't have to be with me. Also, in the description of this video is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So, took a trip to the flea market, and it was a brisk but sunny Saturday morning. Let's take a look. So, now we're searching for comic books. I only found one vendor. Here's a pile of comic books. Let's take a look over here. This guy often has some interesting stuff. And it's alphabetized. Look at this. Let's dig in. So yeah, I picked up a bunch of books. The first guy I went to is a guy who's often there, and he doesn't really know comic books. He has a lot of other stuff. And he has somebody that I know helps him with pulling out like the bigger ones, and he also pulls out number ones. So I think actually the stack that I looked through his stuff a couple of weeks ago. He had a lot of Copper, Thor, and Cap, and some Web of Spider-Man and stuff. And I got some good books there. And the remnants were still there. That was the large portion of what he had. And it's funny, I was going through, and I didn't notice it the first go-around. Nothing is, like, priced with the number on it. He has had price stickers in the past, but not this time. So I'm like, how much are the comics? And he's like, it depends. And so these books I got for about $4 each, and then I circled back to him later, and I could talk about that. Unfortunately, this has water damage, and it has a rusty top staple. This classic Bernie Wrightson cover on Swamp Thing 5. And then there was also Swamp Thing 8 and Swamp Thing 6. Now, I'm going to assume that I was not the first person to go through this pile, because there were more Swamp Thing. 33, this homage to House of Secrets 92. I think it's a Steve Bissette cover. And then, oh so close, there was 46 and 44, but there was no 37, First John Constantine. That would have been nice to find. These are mid-grade. Then I was just going around, a lot of people with, I think every book in this pile was less than $5. On average, they were about $2.50. So I got this. I might have even gotten this for $1. This is Alpha Flight 106. North Star becomes the first out superhero. Reveals his sexual preference in this book. It's done a little awkwardly because it is the 90s. This definitely was $1. Brave and the Bold 166. First appearance of Nemesis. I love that Jim Aparo cover. That's a great cover. Then a couple copies of Silver Sable 1. I'm going to put these in a spec box if we do see Silver Sable. And then these, I probably could have left them behind. Namor number 1. It's got this great John Byrne cover. And then I just did my Bronze Age horror sale, but I'll gear up for the next one. House of Mystery 1, or House of Secrets 133. Nice 25 center. Bill and Ted's Excellent Comic Book number 1. Sometimes those movie adaptations. And then there's a 3-issue run of like late bronze Don't worry, it wasn't a 9-8 contender anyway. Of Batman, 326 to 329. 326 is the first mention of Arkham Asylum. And then Batman's in there fully in the next issue. Nice little silver, or I guess this is early bronze, Kazar number 2, square-bound book. Superman 206. I believe that's Neil Adams. A little bondage cover there, I guess. 222, 80-page giant. World's Finest 191. And World's Finest 202. Sergeant Fury 118. I was looking for stuff that looked like to be in a little bit better shape, because some of the stuff you come across is really beat. There were a lot of condition issues with the books, starting with that first Swamp Thing that had water damage to it. This was fairly sharp. Youngblood number 2, first appearance of Prophet. Is Jake Gyllenhaal going to do a movie? Who knows? Dark Horse presents 36, first Aliens vs. Predator in comics. New Warriors number 1. Somebody had traced over all the characters. It almost looks like it's embossed, this cover. I'm not sure how well we can see it through the bag, but there's indentations around all the characters. And this is the first appearance of Night Thrasher. Oddly, there's a 4-issue miniseries that's coming out of Night Thrasher. And sometimes when a character is kind of reintroduced in the comics, that is a portent, potentially, things to come in the MCU. I don't know. You let me know in the comments. Iron Man 118, lower grade. This is the first appearance of James Rhodes, and this is a Whitman variant. You can tell by the square box up there, and then no UPC code. And I think that is not on the original issue either. So, couple of copies of ASM 350, just an anniversary issue. Doctor Strange 42. One of these these 90s reprints. Tales from the Crypt number 1, but it is a newsstand, which is a little unusual. And talking about newsstands, 2 really sharp copies of Silver Surfer 50. I think this one is a contender. I'm going to submit that. Can't really press it. I might do a little bit of spot work somewhere in the back. Sandman number 1 by Simon and Kirby. I think that's their last collaboration. Tales to Astonish 78, lower grade. This, I think, could be submittable. It is over $100 in a 9.8 classic art Adams cover. Fantastic Four 348, the first new Fantastic Four. They didn't last too long. Fear 22, I think the third solo Morbius. ASM 211. This is for the PC, my 100-page collection. I don't think I have this yet. Unexpected. Focus, please. Yeah, Unexpected 158. Unfortunately, and this was in a $10 bin that a guy had. He had like $1 and then $5 and $10. He took some of the $5 and the last few were $5. This was in the $10 bin, but he threw it in as a $5 comic. Let me just... Unfortunately, a page is missing. It doesn't affect the story. It's like an ad page at the end. First Bishop cameo. It does have condition issues. It has some creasing, and it is kind of definitely mid-grade. Tomb of Dracula 20. That's not a bad book. This is a lower grade copy. This might stay in the PC for now, just as a placeholder. Brave and the Bold 58, the second appearance of Metamorpho. Secret Origins 1. Newsstand, great Jerry Ordway cover. Roy Thomas retelling the origin of the Earth 2 Superman. Kingdom Come number 3. These are not the prices I paid. These, Punisher War Journal number 7 with the Wolverine crossover. Number 6, the first part of that crossover. And number 7 in a newsstand. Hardware, a couple copies still bagged of Hardware number 1. I think these were like $1. And also, still in the bag, Blood Syndicate number 1. Fantastic Four 348. First, the cameo appearance of the Time Variance Authority on the last page. And, of course, if you've been watching Loki, mid-grade copy of Static number 1. This was not the one that was polybagged. Third print of Superman, Man of Steel number 18. First full appearance of Doomsday. And then just some dollar Wonder Woman books. These first three are PC bound. And then issue number 0 with that great Brian Boland cover. Hologram of X Factor 92. Sketch variant for Gwenpool, number 1. Scar, Son of Hulk. This is the B cover, number 1. Issue number 1. 2 copies because we just got news that they're going to do a Max movie or something. Darker Image number 1. I think this is the first preview appearance of Max, and one of the 2 of these has a Max trading card. They're still in the poly bag. Mighty Avengers number 12, Secret Invasion storyline. Betty and Veronica 25 center. And it's not for me, but for people who collect it, I always grab, if they're in decent condition, pretty nice shape, if Betty and Veronica are wearing swimsuits, as they are in 201, 20 center. This, unfortunately, is a little bit rough shape. Ghost Rider number 31, first full appearance of the Midnight Suns, and it is a newsstand. Wasn't in the poly bag, though. This one is pretty sharp. Marvel 2-in-1 number 8. Not a lot of big keys in the Marvel 2-in-1 run. A lot of minor keys, like minor keys, that are really not worth much more than the run fillers. But this is early. It's a 25 center, and it has Ghost Rider in it. And then this might have been the biggest book of the day. And again, it's like a $30 book. And it's Betty and Me, number 55. Because she's doing a split in a leotard. It has value. I got to get this in a Golden Age bag. Jughead, number 51. This is from 1959. And then this is the other big book I got. Lower grade. Marvel Spotlight 32. First appearance of Spider-Woman. You can see there's some pieces missing from the front cover. But it's first appearance of Spider-Woman. I think I paid like $2 for that. This is the one where Eros becomes Star Fox and joins the Avengers. It was not intended. Complimentary copy. I had to pay for it, though. This is actually a decent condition. Adam, number 35. I have to see if this is... I think I have this book in the PC already. I have to see if it's an upgrade. These are both a little bit lower grade. I think we're $2 a piece. Some Blackhawks. A early Beetle Bailey in pretty nice shape. Again, that needs a Golden Age bag. Strange Suspense Stories number 3. And then I circled back to the guy who I talked about earlier, and I picked up all these books for like $3 each. And some I bought just because there were 2 in the bag. This was in the bag with this, the 25th anniversary border, sharp copy. And then there was also this, the first Stormbreaker. And then, again, these were in the same bag and board. Marvel Fanfare 55 and 59 with this classic cover of Shane of the She-Devil. So that's the haul at the flea market. Now, the interesting thing, that guy that I got the first several books and the last several books from, because I kind of, as I was heading out, I saw he had like a box I hadn't seen before. And I was flipping through a box, and I totally whiffed on the book the first time. And then I noticed the second time. I picked the book up, and I put it with the others. And I had, I think, 6 books, including that one. And I don't have it. Just, don't look forward to it. So he goes, oh, these are each 5, 10, 15, 25, or whatever, 3. He goes, do 15. This one I want 200 for. Now, legitimately, I think in a near mint, even very fine copy, it would make sense. But there was a thumb crease in the bottom that had torn the paper a little bit. So I thought it was more mid-grade, and I thought 200 is a little bit steep. I wasn't really interested in bargaining with them, but it's a big boy book. It is Incredible Hulk 377, third print. That is a book you do not see too often. And if I thought there was, $200, if there's any chance of a 9.8 in that, you got to grab the book. So the book in question was, and it was probably higher into mid-grade. It looked like there was some other issues with it. I didn't look at it that carefully because I wasn't interested in grabbing it. But it was Incredible Hulk, number 377, the third print. That is a very difficult book to come by. And he wanted $200 for it. It kind of has to be in the nines to justify a $200 price tag. I mean, a 9.8 and this kind of just, I mean, a crazy price. I don't think you would get it again. But a 9.8 sold in August for $14,750. It just doesn't, the previous sales to that were kind of in the range of $2,000 to $3,000. They varied a little bit because it comes up so infrequently. Like there were several sales in 2019, but since then, in a 9.8, there was one sale in 2020 and one sale in 2022, and then a sale this past August. So it's not and maybe, I don't know, maybe people are hoarding it or asking too much, and maybe that's the guy who really wanted it, just got crazy and, basically spent 5 times what previous people had been paying for the book. I don't know. But I did not pick up that book. And it wasn't a 9.8 anyway, so I wasn't thinking, I was going to get $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000, $15,000. So that's the haul, the fairly modest haul. Not too many books that are going to go out to CGC. Maybe a couple. But that's fine. I mean, you expect the condition to be a little bit variable when you're going to the flea market, especially if you're not the first one there to that particular table. And sometimes you do find the things. The other moral of the story to take away from this is know your Archies. That one Archie book in mid-grade is like a $30 book. And almost everybody's just going to move past it because, I wouldn't have recognized it a year ago, but I think I had stumbled across it in a collection or something. And when I was cataloging, I'm like, oh, wow. Kids. It makes sense to pay attention to the Archie books that are a little innuendo, even for later stuff, and a little bit on the sexy side. And there are a couple of other, first appearances that do command quite a bit of value. So anyway, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think of the books that I got. You can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.